evening and welcome to tonight's presentation of high school football on the ISC Sports Network, brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Learn more at weendeavor.com. Great to have you from Wildman Field on the campus of South Putnam High School. South Putnam gets set to take on Cloverdale, and with you on ISC with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. Great time of year, 1 week until the tournament.
I can't believe we're already at the end of the season. It felt like this thing just kicked off. I know for me personally, had the chance to call the South Putnam-North Putnam game that kicked off this 2025 high school football campaign, and here we are a week before sectionals. I know both clubs looking to finish strong and on a high note as we go into postseason play.
Class A football, but not your typical Class A football. A couple ball clubs, South Putnam at 6-2, Cloverdale at 5-3. These teams can spread it around on the ground, but they can throw it a little bit too.
That's 100% accurate, because for South Putnam, this is a team that went to semi-state last year, lost to Providence, looking for a berth to the state championship game in Class A. Didn't get that, so I know they're hungry to get back to a similar position that they were in last year. And then for Cloverdale with Coach Tyler Lotz, this is a team, put it simply, that just hasn't won a lot ever. And he is in a position in back-to-back years winning as many games as they've ever have before in the last few years. So I know they're excited to continue to turn the tide in the proper direction. So I'm excited to see these two clubs go at it.
Now, Jarrett, Cloverdale at 5-3, but 2-0 so far in the Western Indiana Conference. They are unbeaten in conference play, at least so far, but an interesting start to the season, losing back-to-back games at Riverton Park and then against North Putnam. They won 5 of their last 6.
That's just a testament to the type of culture that Coach Lotz wanted to put in, reading up on some of their local paper outlets and what they wanted to do coming into the season. And really what Coach Lotz wanted to do as head coach was just change the culture. Being the team that was so used to getting down in games and then mentally being checked out, he wanted a team that was going to continue to fight and be a next play mentality type of team, and I think they've done that, and that explains the success this season. Taylor and what he can do, 6 games, over 100 yards, so he can get it going quick and in a hurry. So I'm sure Keenan Mowry Shields, the leader, as he looks forward to do some damage.
No gain on that opening run. Here's a pass that's caught on the near sideline, complete to Marcus Boyd, junior wide receiver.
I think it's interesting thus far, 3-3 stacked defense, 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers stacked behind them, a defensive structure for South Putnam that Coach Searle said at the beginning of the season you wouldn't see much of, but here in the last part of the year, you see it pulled out of the bag of tricks. So just pay attention to this defense as it goes on. May not show its head every play, but they have the ability to go to it.
Gain of 8, it's 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 official is they hand off to Taylor, who's got the first down, and he broke one tackle and then had a tough time bringing him down on the other end for South Putnam. It was Branson Ensign on the tackle.
Cloverdale doing a nice job. When you come on the road and you're in this type of environment like South Putnam has at Wildman Field, you have to do a nice job of crowd control, keeping everyone at bay. And how do you do that? You run the football, the first and second, third play, get the first down, and put yourself in nice position to get in rhythm in the early parts of this one.
60 seconds gone by to open this first quarter. Duncan will maneuver to his left, throwing off balance style, another pass complete. 2 for 2 for the senior QB.
Very simple, just getting into your playmakers in space. If South Putnam is going to put their defenders off and soft, then obviously Landon Duncan has shown that he is going to take advantage of that. Just an easy pitch and catch out to the wide side of the field to Trey Henderson.
Henderson with his first grab, another senior. As you said, a number change defensively for South Putnam tonight.
That's Keenan Mowry Shields wearing number 11, a number he wore last year. And it's interesting because last year he was exclusively a linebacker. This year he made the change to being a linebacker and offensive lineman, but it seems that has now changed once again as he's there on the tackle. And surely we're going to talk about him a ton tonight just because he fills up the stat sheet and has done so in his high school career. Feels like it's just getting started, only being a junior.
Incredible. Keyshawn Taylor on the run. 6+ games this year of 100 yards or more rushing. Now, this is a matchup, Jared, that could be featured in the regional. They are in the same section of the bracket of Class A football. So if both teams go far enough, timeout will be taken by South Putnam. This could be a regional matchup. That'd be some fun.
And to that point, whether either coach admits to it, you want to put something on tape to give that matchup potential, something for the coaches to think about a little bit more if it does come to that. Some more game planning to put an extra stress on the defensive and offensive coordinators as they're preparing to see another team, the same team, twice in just a few weeks. So definitely a chess match that we have going on here tonight.
Timeout on the field. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Endeavor Communications. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor, and Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Out of the timeout, 2nd and 7 for Cloverdale on this opening possession of this one. A nice sunset forming beyond the stadium as well. It was a fast downfield. Henderson tried to one-hand it, Jared. Nearly came up with it. Try the old OBJ.
And that was just a simple throw from Landon Duncan. Just give your receiver an opportunity. Henderson did a nice job, not even looking back in the ball until he was well out of his break. Mistake that a lot of young receivers make, but as you see Henderson continuing to run, getting his head up late, but that ball just wasn't in a position for him to make a play on it. I know that's something that Landon Duncan would like to have back, connecting with his receiver. They
tried for the home run. It's 3rd and 7. Duncan is a pocket passer. He's only carried the ball 12 total times himself this year. He'll try and throw it again on 3rd and 7, and it's out of bounds. 4th down coming up, and South Putnam after the timeout, Jared, with a response.
Absolutely. Defense stood strong after have given up a couple of first downs to start the game, but that's all you can ask for. Just get a stop, get the defense off the field, and that's exactly what they did. Execution in the first part of this first quarter.
4th and 7, the ball's at the 41. And Cloverdale will punt. It's Blake Witt back to receive for South Putnam. Punts in the air, a line drive, one bouncer, and this will find the end zone. Automatic touchback. And South Putnam will go to work for the first time offensively. The Eagles with the football led by junior quarterback Drew Klein.
Drew Klein just doing an outstanding job at the quarterback position. 79 of 135, a little over 1,400 passing yards, but more than the 16 passing touchdowns. It's only the 4 interceptions. You go an entire season not even averaging an interception a game or even every 2 games. That's getting it done because it's most important at the quarterback position that you take care of the football, and Drew Klein has done that.
Klein in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers total. He's got the big tight end available to him as well. And that's Maury Shields. Whistle on the first play, flag down.
As that defense shifted over, clearly showing their strength is going to be set to wherever Maury Shields is. I wish Trey Henderson got a bit too excited and jumped into the neutral zone before that snap was actually legal. Just an easy gimme for this South Putnam offense to get things rolling.
So 1st and 5 it will be. That's a big body, Maury Shields, right behind the line, along with the quarterback Klein. Now 2 in motion. And the first handoff of the game belongs to Ty Benton on a big play. Benton down the far side, still on his feet. He will trot out of bounds as he's banged by Clover at the 35.
You can see why Trey Henderson was trying to jump the gun and shift over the strength responsibilities to wherever Maury Shields was, because he's going to be a lead blocker for the pistol starter coming out of the backfield in Ty Benton, who can really take a 5-yard carry and take it the distance, and already getting off to a nice start.
He averages 10.5 yards per carry. That's much more than the average. As he'll take it again, but first another whistle, second flag of the drive. This time it's guilty on the Eagles. line, an off-balance throw, pass is caught, and plenty more coming for Ensign. Ensign down the near sideline for a touchdown. Branson Ensign, his 5th reception TD of the year, and South Putnam with 2 huge plays on the board first.
These are the plays that everyone's going to give Drew Klein and Branson credit for the pitch and the catch and then the touchdown. But it's Blake Witt throwing the block right here down the field. You want to show me that you're an unselfish football player, throw a block that does not glorify yourself but your teammate. South Putnam gets in the end zone first.
Aiden Beasley on for the point after. And this is his primary work. South Putnam, as mentioned, has not attempted a field goal this year, so Beasley, all 29 of his attempts have been for the point after. He's made 23 of them. And another flag.
The Clovers just seem to be a bit too excited to at least wait for the snap. It's a couple of offside penalties going against them, giving this offense a chance to get back on the field and go for 2.
Wow. So mistakes for Cloverdale piling up early, and it's interesting because, Jared, Cloverdale came out offensively pretty sharp. They were marching down the field. They got into South Putnam range. And then the Eagles, Chuck Searle took a timeout. That's really when things started to shift.
Sometimes that head coach can play a bit of mental warfare on the other team when you take a timeout as early as it was. But you can see it's paying some huge dividends. A stop, a score, and a 2-point conversion pending.
Benton is the running back in the I form. He's attacked, but he'll twist in and score it for the 2-point conversion.
Ashton Evans was the first person to meet Benton in the backfield, but you see the strength right here to take the hit and then contort his body and still find the ball over the pylon and goal line for the 2-point conversion.
Boy, Ashton Evans is asking, what more do I need to do to bring down Ty Benton? So the 2-point conversion good. It's 8-0 South Putnam. Cloverdale has the ball back next in the first quarter on IHSAA.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from
An 8-0 lead for South Putnam at home to close out the regular season. The Eagles trying to improve to 7-2. They're off to a good start, and again, helped out by a couple Cloverdale penalties, converting 2 big plays on their opening drive.
The first play of the game doesn't even get credited with a defensive snap just because Trey Henderson jumped the count too soon, spotted South Putnam 5 yards, and then it was the next play that the explosion got started with Ty Benton coming out of the backfield. Let's see if that's going to continue to be the case for South Put as we go into this next offensive possession.
Bradley Williams with his second kickoff of the game already with 9 and change to play in the first quarter. It was corralled by Ashton Evans, who just missed that tackle. Well, didn't really miss a tackle, just couldn't bring down Ty Benton mostly. Evans on the return. It was a pretty short kick. And the second drive of the game for Cloverdale, Landon Duncan, their senior quarterback, which again, their first drive of the game started well, but was then stopped immediately by South Putnam as soon as the Clovers got into Eagle territory.
A lot of times you see respect from one offense to a defense with how the offense comes out and starts the game. So what I saw from this Cloverdale offense was run the ball and then let's move the pocket and take some shots down the field. Let's see if they keep that same act up.
Beautiful, warm, late fall night in Greencastle. The opening run for Keyshawn Taylor again, just as their previous drive started. They do give Taylor a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Cloverdale. And already the Clovers giving up more points today than they had combined in their previous 3 games. 47-3 victory over South Decatur on September 26th. On October 3rd, they blanked Brown County 67-0. And then last week against West Vigo, 55-3 domination. So already 8 points allowed in this one. And now a whistle comes from the Cloverdale sideline. They've got to burn a timeout. That was before the 2nd and 9 play. The Clovers into the huddle, and the Eagles as well. South Putnam probably couldn't dream of a better start.
Not at all. This is exactly how you want to come out in the last game of the season. Sometimes it feels thus far that Cloverdale is showing some signs as if this is the first game of the season. Some of the procedural things that aren't going their way, lack of clock management on the field, letting the play clock get down lower than it really needs to be. Could be the nerves, could be anticipation as you get playoff football going next week. But either way, they got a lot more game left to get it right.
South Putnam off their shutout win against Owen Valley 63-0 a week ago.
Did he blow a whistle for me? What was the whistle for? Yeah.
So it remains 2nd and 9 at the Cloverdale 34. Duncan's in the shotgun with Taylor. The fake handoff and the throw by Duncan in and out of the hands, bobbled by the usual reliable Trey Shable. This guy is all over the field. Trey Shable, one of the kickoff return men for Cloverdale. He is usually a magnet when it comes to the football, but just could not bring in that one on the slant.
The team's leading receiver got excited for what could have been, which was all that space that he was looking to take advantage of here at Mark Wildman Field, but forgot to do the first most important thing, which was reel that one in with your eyes and finish that through the completion of the catch. And instead, now 3rd and long for the Clovers.
They did convert on a 3rd and long play on their first drive. Again, it's Duncan and Taylor. Duncan with the rush on its way, floats one far side. This one will be incomplete, looking for the tight end, Jace Gardner.
It's just a defense forcing the hand of the offense. When you have Khalil Jefferson on one side that leads the team with 7 sacks, and then on the other side you have the state's leading tackler in Keenan Mowry Shields, one-on-one with your tackles and 4.5 sacks on the year. It would behoove Landon Duncan to get the ball out as quickly as possible. That time just not able to connect, all because of that pass rush from the Eagles.
We were talking about Mowry Shields pregame, 105 tackles heading into tonight's game. Khalil Jefferson, he's got 41 tackles, but how about 13 of them for loss?
It's been a nice addition for this South Putnam team for what he's able to do, setting the edge in the run game on defense, also rushing the passer, but then the team's leading receiver thus far and what he's been able to do, catching the ball for over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns, linking up with Drew Klein, something that I'm sure a lot of Eagles fans were not expecting considering what Branson Henley did a season ago.
And here's the second timeout taken of the half for Cloverdale. So the Clovers, again, who started positively, it has been a tailspin since that first punt.
You talk about how they've been cooking with fish grease the last few weeks of the season, but it's important to note the competition just does not add up to what they're seeing tonight, as you already see with the 2 early timeouts and obviously the domination so far from South Putnam. So that's just a credit to the Eagles being prepared to play and outmatching the Clovers thus far.
8-0 South Putnam on the touchdown grab by Branson Ensign, and then their 9th 2-point conversion success of the season. Cloverdale to punt for a second time. Blake Witt again back to receive at his own 35. Eight and change to play here in the first quarter. Good to have you with us on IHSAA with Jared Thomas and Brendan King, our great crew on hand from South Putnam. Good to be with you in Greencastle. Here's the punt, which will bounce at the 40 and take a favorable hop for Cloverdale. And they will touch it last at about the 33. So South Putnam now, Jared, an opportunity to go up not only 2 scores, but really take command. We're only about 4 minutes into the game.
And you see it didn't even take them 5 plays to march right down the field and get their first score of the game. It was chunk plays all the way down the field. Seth Hammond, offensive coordinator for the Eagles, I was told he knows how to carve up defenses and knows how to put points on the board. So it's no surprise that this Eagles offense can come out and click on all cylinders like they have thus far.
Huge drive coming up in this one for both teams. Offensively, South Putnam with the ball, and it's Benton again as he'll be taken down by a couple Clovers on his way up to the 40. Quality opening carry for Benton. It'll be second down and short.
Brendan, we talked about the uniqueness that comes with Class A football, and more times than not, you have guys that play both sides of the football, offense and defense. Mallory Shields being one of those guys, was a tight end last year. We already talked about him being the star linebacker that he is, but was actually moved to offensive line because Coach Sorrell said to make a run, he needed to be there, and he's already throwing some key blocks back at that tight end position, but just showing his value, not just as a tackler, but as a leader and a lead blocker.
Benton past midfield on another carry to open up this drive. Yeah, I mean, Mallory Shields, you take a look at him, 11 in blue. He's almost the backup security to that offensive line, just adding one more big body for Ty Benton to take these big carries.
That's the security guard right here at South Putnam High School, making sure everything is kosher inside the school walls.
Drew Klein had the empty set, faked the handoff to Benton, and now Klein trying to run, finding a hole down the near side. Chunk play for Drew Klein all the way down to the 10. That is the difference amongst the quarterbacks today, Jared, where Drew Klein came into this game 280 rush yards on the year compared to Duncan, who has only ran it 12 times.
And that's the carry that gets Klein over that 300-yard mark on the season as a runner. It's always talked about in football, the +1 runs, and that's everyone matched up with their man across from you. But when that quarterback inserts himself as a runner, it provides some huge problems for opposing defenses. Klein doing his best Ty Benton act, getting it down into scoring territory.
South Putnam continues to march down Cloverdale. Benton again. He'll try the middle. First guy to him for Cloverdale on the tackle was Anthony Horsley. Horsley, one of the big bodies on that defensive line, 5'11", 240, a senior. It is a gain of a yard for the Eagles. Klein with Benton again, 2nd and 9. Klein again on the swing. Klein to the goal line. Klein, touchdown. 7th rushing touchdown on the year for Drew Klein. And South Putnam in the first 6 minutes of this ball game up 2 scores.
Just so tough to defend. Everyone's attention is on Ty Benton, and rightfully so. But the guy in blue, number 6, can run the rock as well as he already did one time before. Does it again and gets in for another score for the Eagles.
And they'll go for the point after. They were going for one with Beasley on their first touchdown, but then the penalty committed by Cloverdale brought back out the offense, and they converted the 2-pointer. This is Aiden Beasley. It's a low kick, but it's going to find its way through the uprights for his 24th point after conversion on the year. South Putnam halfway through the first quarter, dominating their way through. It's 15-0 on ISC.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
What lightning fast?
15-0 South Putnam on top of Cloverdale here in the first quarter with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. The Eagles right now, Jared, having their way.
Doing whatever they want thus far, running the rock as we talked about at the start of the game, establishing their dominance thus far. And when you run the rock effectively, you usually score points, and you do it pretty easily, explaining the 15-0 lead right now for the Eagles.
So Cloverdale's going to get the ball back. What's the process here of just starting to stop the bleeding?
They had an opportunity to do so on their first drive, just not able to connect in key positions. When you have a team like Cloverdale that's just looking to match themselves up with a team like South Putnam, you can't shoot yourself in the foot, not execute when it is time to do so. So just looking for Coach Lotz to get his team back honed in into the rhythm they had on that first drive.
Bradley Williams has been a busy man in the first quarter. His 3rd kickoff. Again, it will find Ashton Evans, his 2nd straight time catching the kickoff. And Cloverdale offensively, their 3rd drive. Remember, they had that big play opportunity with Shable on that slant from their last drive. Went by the wayside on the drop pass, but We'll see if they can continue to get their men open.
It was back-to-back drives, too. Duncan had an opportunity to connect with Trey Henderson down the sideline and just wasn't able to put the ball in a position that allowed Henderson to make a play on it. So I'm sure those were two plays that were circled on the sideline for them to better execute as they come out on the field for another possession.
1st and 10, Cloverdale. And this is a guy they need to get cooking, Keyshawn Taylor. Big run to open the drive. First down for Taylor. Keyshawn Taylor has been one of the best running backs in the conference in Class A, and he's getting close to passing 1,000 yards on the season. Came in with 936.
It's easy when you have one of the better players on the field. You just hand the ball to him and say, go outrun everyone, and it usually provides some good fortune. Although it looks like this play is coming back due to a penalty.
We'll wait on the referees to call. But also at the end of the day, it can't be a one-man show, right?
Not at all. Everyone has to do their part. They're 1/11th.
So holding went on the defense. That's a break for Cloverdale because I think we both thought that was coming back.
That's for sure.
So a hold there on Maury Shields. And the play will stick for Cloverdale, their best play of the day by far. Long run for Keyshawn Taylor. Duncan this time is going to swing out, and the pass will be caught by the tight end Gardner. So here come the Clovers a little bit. Back-to-back productive plays.
Once again, this is exactly why the Clovers want to stay ahead of the chains. They want to play on-time football. They can move the pocket. They can get the defense running side to side. But when they get behind the chains, that's when that pass rush should really start to assert themselves. But if they stay ahead of it like we just saw there, they keep the game in short and manageable situations.
2nd and 3. Clock moving towards 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. From the pistol, Duncan took the high snap, handoff to Taylor. Taylor is going to be short of the first down, but he might have bought himself another yard. 3rd and short at about midfield coming up for Cloverdale. This is one you feel like the Clovers are going to need.
They absolutely need it. They've had 2 straight drives where they haven't been able to execute. Another opportunity to do so. Let's see what they do.
No gain officially on that last run for Keyshawn Taylor. Taylor, a guy that had a 5-touchdown game in their 47-3 victory against South Decatur on September 26th. And Taylor again has got the first down and more. Far sideline, trying to dodge across a couple Eagles. He'll be pushed out at the 35, or make it the 25 for Taylor. Best run of the day for him.
Just some simple eye candy in the backfield. Send the motion behind, orbit motion behind the quarterback, and then give it to your workhorse coming underneath. And that was all the deception that the Clovers needed for Taylor to scurry for another first down.
15-0 South Putnam, but Cloverdale trying to get on the board for the first time. Landon Duncan, the 6-foot senior, leading the offense for Cloverdale. From the shotgun, he's got his buddy Taylor still with him. And Duncan to throw. A sinking line drive pass is going to be corralled at the 20 by Henderson.
It's obvious the type of attack that Cloverdale wants to get into. They want to attack the edges of the defense, move the pocket, get the ball into off coverage that we see South Putnam playing in. And if you're at home and you're wondering why is South Putnam playing so far awful, when you have guys like Khalil Jefferson and you have guys like Keenan Maury Shields that can really attack your offense as defensive players, you trust your secondary to be off a little bit more to allow your front seven to do the work. It's only when opposing offenses continue to run the ball effectively that you have to move that coverage up to take away the airspace.
It was Taylor on 2nd and 5, no gain. And again, a pivotal 3rd down on this drive. The last 3rd down, they had that big run to the left side by Keyshawn Taylor after the, as you called it, orbit movement in the backfield. Third and 5 at the 20. Cloverdale trying to add on to their best drive of the day so far. Taylor on the run. And you got to think, Jared, this is 4-down territory.
100%. Don't get down to this part of the field. Now take that back. Coach Lotz has other plans.
Interesting. Now Cloverdale has attempted just one field goal on the season. It was by the guy we're about to see attempt it, Jordan Horsley. Horsley was good from 43 yards a couple of weeks ago. That's their only field goal attempt this year. This is going to be from 30 with the ball on the left hash. Henderson, the holder. Kick is up, and it's going to be well short. So what do you think about the decision?
Have faith in your kicker. Want to see him put one through. Did not happen, but you get your defense back out there and encourage them to get a stop.
So we'll flip things. Horsley, his first field goal attempt in a few weeks. And again, he was good from 43 in his previous attempt, so it was well within his range. Cloverdale knows now going to have to come up with a South Putnam stop. So South Putnam back to work offensively. Drew Klein ran for a touchdown on their last offensive drive. They've also had the touchdown pass to Branson Ensign. And open this one, the carry for Ty Benton. Pickup of a couple for Ty Benton. Has rushed for over 1,400 yards on the season.
Going back to a season ago, 5 yards short of the 1,700 mark in the rushing department for Ty Benton. And if he continues to run the rock like he has this season, I oddly suspect that he's going to end up short again. He's just that type of running back.
2nd and 7. And here's a good tackle coming in from Ashton Evans. That's what Evans tried to do a little earlier when Benton ran in for that 2-point conversion. This time he's able to twister him down.
Had a lot more space to maneuver, a lot more space to defend, but that time Evans able to get Benton down, although Benton does a nice job in space separating from everyone else. Not on that one.
3rd and 1, and here's the big man with the first down. No surprise, it's Keenan Mowery Shields. When you need him, he's able to push forward.
It's hard to stop 6'3", 240 pounds. The biggest guy that you have on your side of the ball is 270 pounds for Cloverdale. So that's a matchup and a mismatch that I'm sure the Eagles liked and why they went with such an up-tempo play there.
First down, South Putnam. High snap, carry for Benton. And a flag came in at the 30. That may be on the linebacker, Joshua Foster. Oh, it actually goes on the offense. So Foster was in a battle with one of the South Putnam offensive linemen, Lucas Hall.
That stuff pisses me off. That's a good football play.
Turn the mic off.
So this will backtrack the Eagles a little bit.
Preston Pelfrey called for the personal foul. Sometimes as an offensive lineman, when the block is too vicious or looks too vicious, you get called for that personal foul. And that's exactly what happened to Preston. Nonetheless, fight to live to see another down.
In the last minute of the first quarter, here's the first catch of the game for Ty Benton. Benton can work it both ways. Second down, and still a long way to go because of the penalty. Couple touchdown scores in this first quarter for South Putnam. The pass to Ensign, the rush by Klein. Also the 2-point conversion by Benton after their first TD. Klein from the gun. And here's our first look at Briar Cook. The big fullback, Cook, falls ahead to the 40.
We talked about the multitude of running backs that they have in the backfield. Cook is definitely one of them. Just 61 yards shy before that carry to get to 500 yards. So as a second fiddle to Ty Benton, I'd say that they are the Eagles are taken care of in that running back department.
It'll be a key third down play offensively for South Putnam when we come back. Done with the quarter, 15-0. The Eagles on top on ISC.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Welcome back to South Putnam and a key third down play coming up here right now, Jared.
Third down for this South Putnam offense that has done everything but get stagnant. So all you want to really see is just to continue to keep that flow going. And it starts with this shotgun snap and the execution from Drew Klein.
3rd and 4, Cloverdale trying to stay in the game momentum-wise. They give it to Cook, and he goes nowhere. Briar Cook, back-to-back rushes for him, the last of which was productive on second down, but not this time. Cloverdale was ready.
That's Jace Gardner, the linebacker, getting involved in the backfield. Don't sit back and wait for something to happen. Go make it happen. Meets Cook in the backfield, gets him down, and forces the 4th down.
Well, South Putnam's got to feel like they're playing with house money. They're up 15-0, and they're going for it in their own territory. Klein will stay by himself in the gun. He's got a 5-wide look on 4th down and 4. Klein can run it. He's going to look downfield. The rush on its way. Throws. Incomplete. He was looking for Benton on the near side, and the 4th down conversion ends up being no good for South Putnam. And again, you got the feeling, hey, playing with house money, let's take a shot, no dice.
But a good play by Jordan Horsley, the linebacker, understanding in true empty. There's really no protection for an added rusher. Waited for the snap for Drew Klein to receive and then penetrated the gap, provided pressure, almost got him down for the sack, but more importantly, forced an incompletion, got his offense back on the field.
What's the conversation now like on that Clover sideline? Knowing you get a 4th down stop, you've got favorable field position, down 2 scores. You got to go punch this in.
It talks about the next play mentality that Coach Lotz want his team to have. They see a lack of respect from South Putnam going forward in their own territory. They get the stop. Let's get some momentum going. Let's try to get on the scoreboard.
1st down run, back to Keyshawn Taylor. Remember, Cloverdale, they did attempt a field goal, just their 2nd field goal attempt on the season on their last drive. It was short off the right foot of Jordan Horsley.
That was nothing more than Coach Lotz wanting to see his team get some points on the board with how this game has started. In that first quarter alone, burned 2 timeouts, had 2 promising plays down the field that they weren't able to connect on. So just want to galvanize that crew on the sideline, get some points on the board. They weren't able to, but that's how the football gods work. They put you right back in position to do so. And here's Landon Duncan.
Ranging right, pass is caught and complete out to Trey Schabel. Their leading receiver, as you called earlier, with his first grab, and that makes up for that drop pass on the slant from earlier.
Sometimes you just have to instill some confidence in your best receiver on the perimeter and say, hey, Schabel, we're coming right back to you. And that's exactly what they did. Once again, moving that pocket, as we've talked about, if you force a reaction with the movement of the quarterback, those pass rushers can't just key in on a standing dot behind the pocket. But now they have to adjust their pass rush as well. And by the time they get mentally locked in, that ball is already out of the quarterback's hand, as we saw there from Landon.
See, older, you got to see one go in, right?
That's exactly right.
On the hardwood. 3rd and 3. Man in motion, that's Shable. Handoff Taylor. He's going to wind up being short of the first down. South Putnam's defense comes up with the answer along the line. And now decision time for Cloverdale's. They'll likely go for it.
Damon Cox has come on really nicely for this defensive backfield. 56 tackles on the season, gets in the backfield. He leads the team in hurries with 28. So you talk about somebody bearing down on opposing teams' quarterbacks. That time it wasn't the quarterback, but all goes to the same category and a defensive stop for Mr. Cox.
12 tackles for loss on the year for the junior. 4th and 4 is the official on the scoreboard. From the gun, fakes the handoff. Duncan, off-balance throw, not close. Looking for Jace Gardner. Cloverdale has just been so close, Jared. You get that feeling in this first half. You know, breaking big plays. They've had some giant runs from Taylor, but when it matters on these 3rd and 4th down conversions, have just come up short.
When you've not done something that your school has ever seen, you face some of these ebbs and flows, like them trying to get a sectional championship, something that they've never done in school history. Saw a win last year in the first round of sectionals against Tinley, 34-6. But once again, when you're so close, those are the type of plays that really play in a positive way to the psyche. Let's see if they can continue to stay in it and give themselves more opportunity as such.
A gang tackle by Gardner as well as Horsley. That's Anthony Horsley. His brother Jordan was the kicker on that opening run for Benton. Yeah, last played for a sectional title in 1992, did Cloverdale. So just trying to sniff getting back to the area of winning a sectional championship. They'll open with Clinton in the first round of the tournament next week. Benton again. Benton attacked by Evans this time. Boy, the aggressiveness of the tackling, Jared, I think is what has stood out defensively for the Clovers since about midway through the first.
And it makes total sense why you called Ashton Evans' name at the start of the game on the two-point conversion. He didn't miss the tackle. He just got overpowered for the two-point conversion. But he's the leading tackler on this team, and you see why, because when he gets into open space, if he can get his claws on you, he's pretty confident that he can get you down, even if your name is Ty Benton.
So now 3rd and 6. Remember, we saw South Putnam on their last drive go for it on 4th down in Cloverdale in their own territory. So this could very well be 4 down ground still. Trying to convert on 3rd, though. Benton right up the gut. Trey Benton's got the first down, and he breaks away down the far sideline. Flag comes in at the 50, and this may come back. We'll see. That was a long flag toss from the back judge.
Everyone, you hear the oohs and ahs in the crowd because they understand making some Cloverdale defenders touch earth, how he can be dynamic coming out of the backfield. But when you get a little bit too much jersey against the defense, that play is usually coming back. Nice job by the officials, not being enamored with Ty Benton, but doing their job and calling the penalties when they're needed to be called.
Enamored like us up here in the broadcast booth. Ty Benton. Going to be well over 1,500 yards on the season here soon. So 3rd and a long way to go after the penalty. It's the second 15-yard penalty taken. And now under center, Klein. The run to the big man, Maury Shields. And that'll move the chains. South Putnam's got the first down just short of midfield. Back to the I-4. Ty Benton. He'll be tackled right around his ankles. And guess who? It's Ashton Evans. Those two have been in a big battle here early in this one in the first half.
But, Brendan, I don't know what's more impressive at this point, that we continue to call Ashton Evans' name, making open field tackles against a ticking time bomb like Ty Benton, that Ashton Evans is just a sophomore.
It's amazing.
Or that he's 155 pounds. So I guess we can play Jeopardy and tell me which one is your pick, just because that young man is getting it done tonight just in the open field. Not easy to do, but he's done it countless times, and we're not even into the midway point of this game.
Guy's the daily double, truly. Benton once more kicks to his left, trying to stay on his feet, but will be tripped down at the 45. Gain of a couple back for Benton.
So much of football is about ex-Eagles to really break that contain, break the seal, and be explosive down the field. You just never know. If you're able to connect one or twice here and there.
Also, and it was Jace Gardner that let the ball loose. Second down, the carry for Benton.
Shaq Leonard just inducted into the Ring of Honor a couple of weeks ago.
Cool ceremony at Lucas Oil.
Still can't believe he's not playing football anymore. Was on track in 4 years, had similar numbers to the Hall of Famer Derrick Brooks.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows anything about football and what Derrick Brooks did for the game, that's an impressive feat for a young guy that was at an HBCU and came to Indianapolis. The maniac he came in and the maniac he left.
Klein looking for the home run, but it's short of the hands of Ensign, trying for his second touchdown grab of the game. Coverage good from Cloverdale way downfield.
But guess who that was in the coverage? Just a cover two.
Yeah.
Cover two look with the linebacker running in the middle of the in-between coverage of the safeties. That's your guy, Ashton Evans. Whether he tipped the ball or not, it was enough of a distraction that Branson could not haul that one in on the potential big-time touchdown play.
And they'll go for it on fourth down, 4th and 8. They are in Cloverdale land. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know as a player, right, in the Shaq Leonard storyline, you just never know when your last game is going to come or when those injuries may come about, so you got to enjoy every day.
I still feel fortunate to be able to play a young man's game. I'm not old by any stretch of the imagination, but going into year 6 as a professional, playing in the United Football League, I don't take it for granted because I understand what comes with the territory of being a professional football player. I understand what comes with the territory of being a high school football player. You put a lot on the line, your body, your mind, all of those things for 4 years. And for that thing to end prematurely, I'm sure is not something that he was necessarily proud of. But I'm sure when you get honored like he was a short time ago, it makes it all worth it.
It probably puts the bow on the uncertainty of how it ended, and because it didn't necessarily end well between Shaq Leonard and the Colts. So that was cool to see a couple weeks ago, without a doubt.
100%. And if you remember, Shaq had just gotten the money that he so desired, and then all of a sudden he couldn't get right medically.
Right.
And that injury history started to take a turn. The back
up clock. And how about another touchdown? Cook, his 7th rush. And always out Putnam.
How about said that Brian this season on the year, and it's easy when you have a swarm of Eagles blocking for you the way that they were, and Briar high-kneeing it into the end zone, doing his best act, following up what Ty Benton has done thus far.
And Beasley back out for his second point after attempt officially. The first one, Cloverdale took a penalty, and they came out for the 2-point conversion. Beasley is right through. Touchdown score for South Putnam. They're up 22-0 in the second quarter over Cloverdale. We'll come back with more first-half action next on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
This This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications does not just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. With Jared Thomas, I'm Brendan King. 22-0 the score as South Putnam continues to coast through this first half, Jared. There were multiple times on that drive where South Putnam looked like they were going to have to give the ball up or their drive was coming to an end. But they are just so far kings of new life. Just when you think they're out, they're back in on a first down and more.
That's what you look at when you go to the box score, when you recap the entire game. What were the key plays that don't necessarily stand out as touchdown plays? And those are the third down conversions that you had multiple times on that very drive for South Putnam. So doing a nice job remaining focused, even though you are behind the chains like they were, and they're able to see Briar Cook get in for another touchdown on the ground.
Kickoff went out of bounds there, so some extra yardage coming for Cloverdale to open up this one. They are still looking to get on the board. Yeah, think about that fourth down conversion pass to Ty Benton and a few other plays that really helped them march downfield. And looking at the Cloverdale sideline while we were in our timeout, we saw a lot of hands on hips. You know, that drive really soaked a lot out of Cloverdale, burning a ton of energy. So they're going to need to find a way to claw back in this game. Now, Cloverdale at times, Jared, they have looked sharp offensively. It's just been sustaining it that has been the issue.
But there's a reason for that. One of the things that Coach Tyler Lotz talked about what he wanted to do. Now, this is a Cloverdale alum. Tyler Lotz is offensive lineman, graduated in 2015. Young guy, graduated the same year, went on to play at Marion University, had an opportunity to play in an NAIA championship game while he was in Indianapolis. But this is a guy that has a lot of pride for his alma mater, someone that wants to see the tide turn in their favor. So just trying to get better as a team, build the confidence, get numbers up, and build the youth program. When you're trying to do that, you are so close in games like this. You are just one play away from breaking free. It's just simple. Can you stay persistent to make it to the other side? And what I've seen thus far, Coach Lotz has them headed in the proper direction.
Landon Duncan able to connect with Marcus Boyd, who digested that last pass just ahead of his own sideline for the grab, his second catch of the game. It'll be third down and short coming up for Cloverdale. Duncan back in the gun with Keyshawn Taylor. Duncan will range. He has to pass to the near sideline, and it's picked off. Interception. Actually, no. Stepping out of bounds and just not able to get a foot in was Brody Burge. But the coverage, you can't ask for better.
But it was the crowd's emphatic roar. Although it looked like his feet got down right before he got out of bounds. That might have been good on Sunday as well. Brody doing a nice job covering the receiver all the way to the sideline, makes a play on the football. I was going to say the crowd thought he had an interception, but I stand corrected. He did have an interception. It's just the officials didn't see it the same way.
Yeah, we had a pretty good look out in front of our booth on that near sideline, and obviously no replay coming here at the high school level. So, new life indeed for Cloverdale. It's 4th and 3, and they will convert as picking up the catch is Trey Shable. That'll move the sticks for Cloverdale. They're just trying to survive. Hey, there's more than a half of football to play tonight. And Cloverdale down 22-0. Just trying to get into South Putnam territory.
When so many people look at this matchup on paper, they would say that South Putnam is overmatched and outdoing Cloverdale on paper as it just sits. And so the first thing you want to see with the naked eye from the underdog is there belief and is there any fear? And I think Cloverdale has answered the question, is there any fear? No, there is not. Is there belief? 100%, because if there is belief, you go for it on 4th down like we just saw, and then you execute, continuing to keep themselves in the game.
New set of downs, but Keyshawn Taylor goes nowhere. Damon Cox, the first to him once more, and Taylor is in some discomfort.
And you can see it right at the end. The knee just shifts right there. didn't really get his feet underneath him before Damon Cox could swarm to him. And you just hope that Mr. Taylor is okay.
That would be demoralizing for the Clovers. Their 1,000-yard rusher shaken up a week before the tournament is set to begin. Taylor, just a junior. He'll be back next season, which is pretty amazing when you consider the fact he's got 15 rushing touchdown scores on the year. While they turn the attention to Keyshawn, we'll step back for a moment. 2:45 left in the half on ISC.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Happy to report, as you can see there at the back end of your screen, Keyshawn Taylor did walk off the field under his own power. Now, he did have the trainer with him, and he went straight back to the athletic trainer's table. So the hope is that Keyshawn Taylor can remain in this game and obviously be healthy for next week in their tournament opener against Clinton Central.
It's worth noting that Ashton Evans has almost 200 yards rushing on the season. And then Trey Shable is the other one, although this one seems to be coming back.
It is Trey Shable on the misdirection, but a flag came in at the 42. And that was some nice trickery coming in from Cloverdale, probably just when South Putnam was not expecting it, right? You're starting running backs out. Let's run the trick reverse, Evans to Shable. But a hold is going to be guilty on the Clovers.
Just unnecessary. Offensive lineman Anthony Horsley, brother of Jordan Horsley, pulls the guy down right in broad daylight. And so when you're out in the open like that as a big guy like Anthony is, you're going to get called for that 10 out of 10 times, and it just wasn't necessary. Too many times in the run game, guys on the perimeter go and do things that the play does not even call for. You've done enough by staying in front of your guy as long as you did. Let him go. Allow the runner to beat him with speed, because if you don't, you get into second and forever situations.
Such as this. And forever to go, indeed, for Cloverdale. It's 2nd and 23. Boy, how many times have the Clovers been that close? You could play the shoulda, woulda, coulda all night long. Here's another bomb to Henderson. It's going to come up about 5 yards short. And 3rd and plenty now coming up for Cloverdale.
Once again, when Cloverdale gets into minus chained position, 2nd and however long that is, a long mile from where I came from tonight, it gives this pass rush an opportunity like Khalil Jefferson. When they win so quickly, it doesn't even give Landon Duncan an opportunity to get his feet set and step into that throw to deliver that ball down the field like he would have liked. Throwing off your back leg means there's a lot more meat on those bones, but not able to get to the nitty-gritty of it just because of that pressure from Jefferson up front.
Keyshawn Taylor remains on the sideline. Ashton Evans is the back. And here's a little screen out to Evans. It winds up being a pretty gnarly play. Evans bought himself a good 15 yards, but not close. It'll be 4th down and still very long for Cloverdale.
Gnarly is exactly right. Throws Khalil Jefferson by on the screen, using the pass rush against the Eagles on defense, trying to take advantage of a middle screen. But when you're that far away, although a positive play in yards gained, still have a good chunk to go.
And it will be 4th down, timeout taken with 98 seconds remaining in the half. South Putnam up 22-0. Just to recap how we got here. The Eagles, first of all, a touchdown pass to Branson Ensign. That was from Drew Klein. Klein's 17th passing touchdown of the season. Klein then ran one in himself, his 7th rushing touchdown score of the season. The most recent touchdown by the Eagles, the touchdown scamper by Briar Cook, his 7th run from the fullback this season. South Putnam using nearly all of their weapons. We've seen them be effective in the pass game. We've seen them be terrific on the ground. Really, the only thing we're looking for is a catch from Khalil Jefferson, but so far Jefferson has made his imprint on the game from the defensive standpoint.
One thing that stood out to me the first game I had when I was over in Rochdale for that first game of the season was just how fast Khalil really flew around on the football field. When you look at his stature, standing at 6'4", you see how his length can be identified from a bird's eye view, and then you see him run, and you say that guy's a problem.
He's 81, right on the right edge of that defensive line on your screen. A matchup nightmare for the left tackle. And another flag. Jesse Carroll has had his hands full all game. 56 in white. It'll stay 4th down.
Oftentimes, if you're in a position, you have the offense out on the field and you take the delay of game, it is for sure strategic. You want to create a more cushion of separation for your punter to potentially keep it in the field of play and not sailing it to the end zone for the touchback. Just really trying to flip the field and give your punter as much room to work with as possible.
Jordan Horsley will punt. We saw him attempt the field goal earlier, which was no good. Horsley will boot it in the air in the direction of Blake Witt. Blake Witt to receive, and he's got it at his own 20. Sidesteps one Clover, then another spinorama. Blake Witt with some room. He'll finally be gang tackled ahead of the 35-yard line. Quality return from the junior Blake Witt. So the Eagles with the football once more, and they've got 97 seconds to try and march downfield again. We have seen them do that in less. They've had some huge chunk plays, especially in the first quarter. They were up 2 scores in the first 6 minutes of the ballgame.
Did not take long, to your point, Brendan. That just shows you the firepower that the Eagles have.
Drew Klein back to work. Same case for Ty Benton. Ty Benton over midfield, now to his right. Ty Benton well into Cloverdale territory to the 31.
Just a simple backside guard and tackle counter scheme. Now watch 58, Lucas Hall. When he doesn't touch anyone until well past the first down sticks, that means Ty Benton didn't get touched until well past that contact point. Nice execution there on first down from the Eagles.
Eagles looking for more before the half. Benton, it's his show on this drive near the first down marker.
This feels like a take your will or impose your will type of drive for South Putnam. Can they break the will of Cloverdale, pound the rock, big explosive play, come back with another run, up-tempo offense, all window dressing just to essentially pound the rock to get down to scoring position once again.
60 remaining in the half. Klein claps the hands, has the ball, back to throw. Klein, he's got end zone in mind. Jefferson just out of reach. Khalil Jefferson hoping for his 8th reception in the end zone this season, just short.
His ears must have been itching. You mentioned his name as he was on defense, hadn't been targeted on offense just yet. And what better way to do that than when they're just a jump hop and a skip away from the end zone, just unable to link up in the end zone.
Everybody eats in this offense.
That's 100% correct. It's nice when you have weapons to go to so that everyone can have a seat at the table.
Benton tried left, went middle, and then twisting him down around the ankles was Gardner. Chase Gardner has been noticeable from a linebacker standpoint for Cloverdale. Ashton Evans, it's been his job to keep Ty Benton at bay as best as he can. Not an easy job. Gardner has provided some nice backup. And now Klein. Near sideline, pass is caught. Witt. And Witt pushed out of bounds near the 10. South Putnam with time, 28 seconds to try and find the blue end zone turf again. Three wide receivers left for Klein, who has Benton to his right. Klein to Benton. Pass touchdown. Ty Benton in for 6. And he'll join the touchdown party in this one. He's been nothing but active all game, but he finds the blue turf for the first time.
when you're on the right hash and you have all the defensive attention over to the 3-receiver side, what do? Leak that running back out once again. Not just a rusher of the football, but Ty Benton, a receiver of it as well, getting in for another score to his name tonight.
All South Putnam. And Aiden Beasley, who has 2 point-after conversions on the day. Blake Witt is the holder. And Beasley, this is his best kick so far. It's up and good. 29-0 South Putnam. We'll keep it right here in preparation for halftime on ISC. South Putnam, a well-oiled machine here tonight, Jared Thomas.
One thing that Coach Sorrell talked about that he felt was the difference in their semi-state loss last season against Providence was speed. They didn't have the speed to separate. They didn't have the speed to close the gap, making tackles. And he felt like that was the only difference that his team didn't have in their favor. So what did he do? I'm going to take this bull by its horns, and I'm going to be the track coach. So now speed is something that is required for a lot of these skill players. So what do you see? Just a large disparity in speed at every position. So when it seems like you have so many weapons to get to, it's because everyone is moving a lot faster than they were a year ago, and so far playing to their advantage.
I know the pain of a season ending is felt program-wide. At the end of the day, nobody was beating that Providence team a year ago. They took down North Judson in the state championship at Lucas Oil Stadium in that Class A state title. And Providence, once again, they are poised to make another run this season. But South Putnam, they're going to have a challenge for that. Again, this could be a regional matchup right here, South Putnam, Cloverdale. Both teams march as far as the regional standpoint of the tournament.
But when you get an opportunity to go as far into the tournament as this group did last season, that means you're stealing time for further development for some of those younger players. So now you put that into the bank, and those are the plays, those are the experiences that you can lean on when you go into the next season, as you see thus far a successful campaign for the Eagles sitting at 6-2, looking to make it 7-2 headed into postseason play.
The short squib kick was fielded by the backup linebacker, junior Caden George. And Cloverdale with 21 seconds on the clock to try and get something downfield. It's 29-0 South Putnam. The Eagles, as we talked about pregame, very well, they could be an undefeated team. It was a double overtime loss to Edgewood that brought along their first defeat of the year, and then put up 33 at Northview on October 3rd. Lost that one 48-33. And just of note, right now, as they will take the knee to go to halftime, did not see Keyshawn Taylor on the field. So Keyshawn Taylor, who left on their last drive with what looked to be a knee injury, did not report. Ashton Evans was the running back there. Well, what more can you ask for if you're a South Putnam Eagles fan?
Nothing more efficient offensively. All they did was go right down the field, whether they were backed up or whether they were in scoring position, go execute. And as you can see, the flawless score, getting every drive into the end zone, doing a nice job of being effective on both sides of the football, keeping the donut on the board for Cloverdale, with their defensive effort feeling good, going up almost 30 into halftime.
Eagles 29, Clovers 0, heading into half here from South Putnam High School. With Jared Thomas, I'm Brendan King. We'll take a timeout for halftime. We'll come back next on ISC.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. all at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Good to have you back from South Putnam on the IHSAA Sports Network. At halftime, the South Putnam Eagles have a 29-0 lead on the Cloverdale Clovers with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. Jared, this is one that I think coming into it with Cloverdale playing their best football of the year. Remember, in their last 3 games entering tonight, they had given up a combined 6 points. But as you wisely said, at the end of the day, you got to look at the quality of competition. They're coming in facing the number 6 team in Class A, South Putnam, and this is a totally different animal compared to right now. However, when you take a look and peel back the layers of this 29-0 game, Cloverdale got the ball first, actually had a decent first drive, got into South Putnam territory, but from there, the Eagles took a timeout, their first of the half. Chuck Sorrell talked about things. Then we had 29 unanswered points.
I think for Cloverdale, this is why, for a casual fan, you just can't look at the score or the box score at the end of the game and get the true picture of what happened during the game, because there are so many plays within the game that had they gone differently, they would have been actually a better game than what you actually see on paper. But to the credit of the Eagles of South Putnam, when you call timeout as early as Coach Chuck Searle did in that first quarter, you really get your team's attention. You get them back focused to where they need to be. A lot going on tonight with all of the cancer awareness going on here at Mark Wildman Field, but you just get everyone's attention back honed in on what they need to do, which is just execute right in front of them. And then after they did that, as you already mentioned, you rip off 29 straight points, and they're very much in control of this one.
You've seen South Putnam once this year. How does this first half performance compare to what you already knew about this team?
It just validates it even more. This is a team, can they remain focused for the entirety, understanding that the ultimate goal is to get back to where they were last year and to do better than they did last year, which was now proceed into the state championship game, which I know this entire staff, this entire community is really looking for them to do. So it's the test of time. One thing that Coach Chuck Sorrell talked about last year was it really makes you hungry after you take a loss like that. And then you come back into this season, can you remain focused for at least 9 weeks as you go into playoffs, and then up the ante even more to potentially get back to that point that you were at last year. So a lot at stake, but it's all about that mental fortitude to remain locked in at the task at hand. And so far, I think they've checked that box.
We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get to some first half highlights. There are a lot of them from the South Putnam perspective. Eagles lead it at home to close out the regular season at half, 29-0. The first half highlights are next on IHSAA Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home, all at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
South Putnam matching up with Cloverdale. Halftime on IHSAA Sports Network with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. Time to take a look at the first half highlights that produced 29 unanswered points for South Putnam. Although the Clovers did have the ball originally, the first big play belonged to Branson Ensign. A couple times that Drew Klein looked for his wide receiver in that first half.
And the first big play, 1A underneath that Branson touchdown, was the block thrown by Blake Witt on the perimeter to escort his teammate into the end zone.
Drew Klein also had a rushing touchdown scamper in the first half. Here's a look at that right now. Drew Klein, we talked about it, the quarterbacks in this game, the discrepancy. Klein likes to use his legs, Duncan not so much.
Don't get it misconstrued. Already a game over 100 rushing yards for Drew Klein, and showing that he can also get into the end zone as a rusher, as he did in that first quarter.
Saw the touchdown run from Briar Cook, his 7th touchdown scamper of the year. And then what can you say about Ty Benton? He joined the touchdown party late, came from a receiving standpoint, but he did most of his work on the ground.
From the middle fullback type of guy in Briar Cook to the guy that's explosive like Ty Benton, Coach Chuck Sorrell has the best of both worlds, and we haven't even seen Kason Ames and what he's able to do as the next running back in that rotation. But the running backs majored in getting a lot of chunk yards and a lot of scores in that first half, as we saw at the back end of that highlight.
What makes a team like South Putnam most dangerous in the tournament?
They have so many weapons that they can go to. There's not one guy that if you stop, you have a good chance of winning, just because they have other guys that they can get it to. I know it's easy to point to Ty Benton and say, hey, if you stop that guy, then everyone else can be held at bay, but that's just not the case. Their leading receiver in Khalil Jefferson hasn't even touched the ball as a receiver.
Been targeted once,
but hasn't touched the ball, and they're up by 29 points. So that's just one example of the firepower that they have offensively to really put you in a world of hurt when you're trying to defend them.
So coming out here for the third quarter, South Putnam's going to get the football, and with a score, they'll have a chance to put a running clock on this game. If Cloverdale does not want that to happen, what are the Clovers talking about right now?
Continuing to fight. Yeah. Continuing to fight. This is a team that before last season, it was 2 wins that back in 2023 highlighted a season high all the way back to 2018. So you think about that. In 2023, you have 2 wins. That is the highlight of a season, because that's the most wins you've had in almost 6 seasons. And then you have 5 wins last year. So it doesn't happen overnight, this change, this shift in mindset of the Clovers, and how you're going to go from being so close to then being the protagonist and being in control of these football games. So no one really wants to hear it, because you always compete to win. But this is a Coach Tyler Lott's team that's just going to have to spend time under tension, learn the lessons in games like tonight, and hope that you're equipped to be better moving forward.
We've talked about some of the Clovers' weapons, right? We talked a ton about Keyshawn Taylor, who we hope is okay. He went down with that injury on one of their final drives of that second quarter. Was not out in the last 20 seconds when they had the football for a short period of time. Saw a couple grabs from Trey Schabel. We saw, I mean, I don't know about you, Jared, but Ashton Evans, based on what he was able to do defensively, then fill in for Keyshawn Taylor at the end of that half. He helped out on that trick play that never was because of the holding call. Ashton Evans has had his hands full with Ty Benton. No excuses from that kid. He's put his head down, and he has worked today.
And I actually stand corrected. I misspoke and said that Ashton Evans was at linebacker level, although he was for that particular play, making an open field tackle on Ty Benton. But he's actually a safety, which is even more impressive, coming downhill, being composed and under control enough to come to balance and get a prolific runner like Ty Benton down. But he's done it time and time and time again. So as if his defensive effort wasn't enough, then he turns the tide, goes over on offense, and almost on the first carry of the game was able to pitch it back on a reverse to Schabel that almost went for a big play, flirting with a touchdown, but it gets called back. So if there was plus minus in football, I think his would be through the roof right now in Ashton Evans.
That's Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. We're at South Putnam High School as the Eagles are on top of the Clovers 29-0 at halftime. Our halftime coverage continues. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more next on ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Back with you, halftime from South Putnam High School on ISC Sports Network with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. South Putnam has the halftime lead, 29-0 over Cloverdale. The Eagles trying to close out their 7th win of the season, heading into a first-round tournament matchup with Attica. South Putnam ranked as the number 6 team in Class A. Attica entering tonight is 2-6. Cloverdale, they'll be in sectional 46 at 5-3 entering tonight. They will match up with Clinton Central, who entering tonight's week is 3-5. Again with Jared, I'm Brendan. Great time of year, Indianapolis Cathedral alumni. What does this time of year mean to you?
It means so much just because I hear now athletic director Coach Rick Strife, who was my head coach when I was at Cathedral, always encouraging us that, hey, we've done our job if we're playing when there aren't any more leaves on the trees. That was always the measuring stick of, did we have a successful season? And being fortunate enough to win as much as we did while I was at Cathedral, I never took it for granted, because you understand that winning is really, really hard to do. And to do it consistently is a toll on everyone involved. So this time of year is so special because it's around the holiday time and Thanksgiving, and you have an opportunity to play for that opportunity to go to Lucas Oil. And having been there and now being in the position that I am now to cover some of these high school sports, it just means that much more to me, because I'm just as excited as I was as a player around this time of the year, because high school football here in the state of Indiana truly is so special.
When you're preparing to go play at a venue like that, I understand, at the end of the day for football players, the venue is the venue. It's the same game, it's the same lines, same everything. But how do you kind of stay grounded when you're getting ready to approach playing a game there in that type of facility, in that type of environment, for it all at the end of the day for a ring? Well,
let's call a spade a spade. Honestly, at the time, Andrew Luck is having his way as the Colts quarterback, and it wasn't until a few years later that he ultimately decided to retire while I was already at college for my collegiate career. But you sit there for the first time and you say, man, this is where Reggie Wayne played football at. This is where Andrew Luck played football at. T.Y. Hilton, played football at. Jeff Saturday being a Colts legend. This stadium is on the backs of those players. So to have an opportunity to play there, it doesn't matter who fills up the stands. What matters is you stepped on the same turf as some legends in this state for your professional team. And then once you get past that, then it's about playing football. But you really have to live in the moment, because, one, these schools don't know the next time they're going to have the opportunity to do so. So when you get there, you want to really relish in those moments.
I think the best that I ever saw was my first state championship play-by-play call was in 2021. That weekend, Thanksgiving weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium, the Colts were going to play at home on that Sunday. They were going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a guy named Tom Brady was playing quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the fact that on Friday and Saturday of that same weekend, a bunch of 17, 18, 15, 16-year-old kids are playing on the same turf that Tom Brady was going to play on Sunday, I think that speaks to what the IHSAA brings and means.
Absolutely, and it's honestly one of the better products that goes on in the state, production-wise, the coaches' interviews leading up to those championship games. It's really a spectacle as a fan. I'm really just a fan of high school sports, football in particular. So to be a part of that as a player and now as a broadcaster, you've had the same opportunities as a broadcaster. You really just appreciate those things, because sometimes from this seat, you forget about all the stuff that goes on the field, and we're just trying to bring light to it. So very fortunate to be in our position.
South Putnam's got some Enter Sandman Mariano Rivera going as they take the field again to open the third quarter. That'll bring our final break of halftime. 29-0, Eagles lead it. We'll head into the third quarter next with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King, our great ISC crew. Back with second half action from South Putnam after this on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Getting set for the start of the third quarter on the ISC Sports Network with Jared Thomas. I'm Brendan King. We are at South Putnam. The Eagles put together one of their best halves of the season. 29 unanswered points so far over Cloverdale. The Clovers trying to avoid their first conference loss. They are 2-0 in Western Indiana Conference play, here to open up things. South Putnam at 6-2 overall off a shutout of Owen Valley last week, 63-0. And again, Cloverdale heading into tonight's game had given up just 6 combined points over their last 3 games since losing on September 14th at the hands of North Davies. That was a 30-23 final. North Davies, one of the better teams in Class A. And Cloverdale's been an interesting path this year, losing both games to open their season at Riverton Park and then against North Putnam. They rattled off 5 wins over their last 6 games, but this is going to be a Herculean type of situation if they're going to mount to come back today. And the Eagles can put running clock on the scoreboard with another touchdown score here. In South Putnam, they are going to get the football here to open up the third quarter. As we talked about at halftime, Jared, the Eagles, I asked you pregame about what type of game matters here to close out the regular season. You know, does the momentum mean more? Does the win-loss mean more? South Putnam, they're taking everything into the tournament, it seems.
In their last 18 contests, dating back all the way to after their Week 3 loss last year against North Putnam, they are 15-3. They ripped off 9 straight before the semi-state loss last year to Providence, and then this year being 6-2. So this is a team that's plenty battle-tested. It was actually a come-to-Jesus meeting after that North Putnam loss last year to really get this thing on straight. So you could argue that that meeting got them on track for last year, and it kept going and building steam even into this year. So this is a team that's continued to roll, so they're not unfamiliar with this territory that they're in right now, being up, being favorited, because it's been a lot of the same tunes for them over these last 18 games.
Cloverdale in the all-white with the green lettering and numbers will kick off to South Putnam in the blues with the white helmets. Jordan Horsley is their kicker. He will kick this one out of bounds, and it will be a penalty to open up the third quarter. For what it's worth, Witt and Ensign were back to receive for South Putnam, and the Eagles will take advantage of this penalty, and we'll try and punch some more in at the start of this third quarter. Drew Klein, their quarterback. He's got 2 passing touchdowns as well as a rushing score. And here come the Eagles. Opening handoff to start the third for Ty Benton, and what's new? He's going to have a first down, and down the far sideline, much more. Ty Benton, he steps out of bounds.
One thing that Coach Chuck Sorrell says about Ty Benton is, simply put, he knows how to get a lot of yards. And that's not a guy that's just going to run past you, although he can if he has to, but he's going to break tackles, he's going to make you miss, and then he's going to separate with speed, and almost did there for the first play from scrimmage to open the second half.
He is well over 1,500 yards for the season. You can't speak on that accomplishment enough. And Benton will break to the near side and score once more. He's got one of each. A reception touchdown and one sprinting now to the blue turf. 35-0 South Putnam, and that'll bring about the running clock.
When that broadcaster and player relationship meets in the middle and the player makes the broadcaster look good, watch the movie puts on Trey Henderson. Excuse me, sir, I have an appointment with the end zone before anyone could touch me. I'm going to do my best act, and in 2 plays, go all the way to the end zone in as many carries. Ty Benton showing face in this third quarter.
How many times have we seen that tonight in less than 3 plays that are all the way down the field before Cloverdale really can blink?
All of his explosive runs this season have eclipsed 65 yards. The one that go in the book as a long rush, they've all gone over 65 yards, and it helps when you have a 24-carry, 300-yard game and 5 touchdowns against North Putnam, and then you have a 27-carry, 320-yard game and 4 touchdowns against Greencastle. This is just light work for Ty Benton and what he's done just in the early parts of this third quarter.
36-0. We're back next. Cloverdale has the ball for the first time in the third quarter on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Another touchdown for South Putnam, second score of the game for Ty Benton. He's got 1 through the air. He's got 1 on the ground. Running clock will transpire with a 36-0 lead for South Putnam over Cloverdale. And, you know, Jared, this is probably when you talk about for the Clovers of you're playing playoff football next week, and you can't just mail it in the rest of the way now.
No, you can't. You have to fall back on something. You have to leave this game, no matter how bad it gets, being able to stand tall and say we were at least able to do something. And in that first half, I do feel like they were able to do some good things, but it's the tale of 2 halves, so it's just not good enough to do it in the first half. You have to do a repeat act in the second as well.
So Cloverdale will get the ball, and again, you got to say the Clovers at times offensively, they have had some juice, they've had some momentum. But credit to South Putnam's defense, really, whenever Cloverdale has been on the cusp of scoring, on the cusp of getting towards the end zone, South Putnam's had that last answer. The closest, Jared, Cloverdale has gotten was a field goal attempt, which was missed by Jordan Horsley. Go ahead.
You could argue that that wasn't close either. That field goal kick landed in the end zone. A lot of faith extended from Coach Tyler Lotz to his kicker in Jordan Horsley, but that's just a defense in South Putnam putting up a huge donut type of effort. And a welcome sight that Keyshawn Taylor is back in the game for the Clovers.
Sight for sore eyes if you're Cloverdale for sure. You know, that's the last guy you would want out of the lineup heading into that first sectional game against Clinton Central next week in sectional 46. Cloverdale getting Clinton Central. Winner of that game would get Indianapolis-Tinley. And then for a sectional championship, Sheridan and Clinton Prairie are on the other side, and Sheridan has won 3 consecutive sectionals.
And some would say that Sheridan had been down a little bit. Now, with Coach Bud Wright not there anymore, they're playing some really good football.
Still a wild sentence to say, right?
Yeah.
Not there anymore.
If there's anyone that goes in the Indiana dictionary of high school football success, it's probably Coach Wright's face in there with as much as he's won in the state.
Short carry there for Taylor. And will be third down for Cloverdale. Landon Duncan, their senior. He'll range right, rush on its way. South Putnam, Cox in the area. This will be incomplete, but caught by a Eagles coach.
It's been a lot of the same for Cloverdale. When they haven't been able to get the ball down the field, it's been because of the lack of protection up front, but can't say that I blame them because they have some horses on the side of defense for South Putnam. Khalil Jefferson and Keenan Mowry Shields haven't even called Hunter Weddle's name tonight.
Yeah.
And what he does at the middle linebacker position, the
He's
elder
got 3
statesman
sacks. Yeah.
in the backfield for them, in the middle of that defense. So just doing a nice job, everyone doing their part on offense and defense.
There are 4 separate Eagles with 3 or more sacks on the year. Weddle's one of them. Cloverdale to punt. This is Horsley in the direction of Blake Witt. It'll bounce towards Blake, where he will scoop it up and race ahead past the 20, where he's ripped down. Again, running clock continues in this third quarter, about 8 minutes to go. With a 36-0 South Putnam lead, and South Putnam to open up this quarter, it did not take much. A large run by Ty Benton. And then a punch into the end zone for Benton. He's up to 16 rushing scores this year, well over 1,500 yards. And I'd love to take a look at the season average stats next week when everything's punched in. Came in averaging 10.5 yards a carry. Feel like he's near 20 tonight.
Not to mention that's back-to-back seasons averaging at 10 yards per carry. So if you thought he had a massive season like he did last year, he's done an even better job this year simply because there's more football to be played.
Briar Cook on the carry on first down. Yeah, back-to-back games to open the year, 300-plus yards. Wins over North Putnam and then Greencastle. Put up a season high 65 in that Week 2 win against Greencastle. Doesn't matter how much they run it or pass it. Clock will tick. With Cook on the carry again. Briar Cook's got a touchdown score on the day. And then I guess, this point too, Jared, the scary part probably is that Klein, Benton, Cook are all juniors. Ensign's a junior. It's amazing. Here's a little screen out to Blake Witt. Pass is caught and complete, and they're looking for more. Blake Witt tumbled down ahead of the 30. Blake Witt's a junior.
But I have to give the seniors some credit on this play, and that's Khalil Jefferson. Watch the block on the top part of your screen. Just buries the defender. So I sit here and say, hey, we haven't called his name catching the football, but I have to say his name because of the blocking effort. That's now 2 receivers being unselfish, being lead escorts for their teammates, and that usually equates to massive plays.
He has done literally everything else. Sign of a glue guy. Cook will barrel downfield for some more. Under 6 to play here in the third quarter. But point being, this is a team that's built to win now and a team that's built to win in 2026.
This is why you put so much artillery into your youth programs, because you understand if you put resources into the young fellas when they become part of your high school program, it feels like you have nothing but runway to just go the distance for year after year after year, and that's exactly what we have with this South Putnam team. A lot has been put into their youth program. A lot has been put into the development of the high school guys, and it's paying some huge dividends with more to still be paid.
Cook will take it further for a first down. Probably what made your alma mater so good for so long, right?
Yeah, I think that is part of it. A lot of it, too, is because you have guys that are growing up in the CYO space, that Catholic youth organization, that understand what it's like to play hard-nosed football for so long. And when they get to Cathedral, everyone feels like they have a common goal in mind, and that's winning. Playing football the right way, playing hard-nosed defense, scoring the ball by running the football. So when you get to Cathedral, now you're on an even bigger stage, but all of it is the same because you've been doing it your whole life.
Here's our first look at a guy you called earlier, Kaysen Ames, 28 in blue. He'll be out there for the first time. Cook's helmet came off on the last play, so he's on the sideline. Ames in the backfield. Fake handoff from Klein. Klein went to his right, now towards the middle. Goal line, close. Is he there? I think they're going to roll him short. at the 1.
That's truly a broken play. Case and Ames looked to line up on the wrong way just based off of where Klein opened up to. And then instead of complaining, dropping his head, what does Klein do? Oh, he just drags the entire Clovers defense and almost pushes it across the goal line for his second rushing touchdown of the day. That's impressive from the quarterback when the first initial part of the play didn't go as planned.
2nd and goal to go. From the gun. And Briar Cook's got his 2nd score of the day. What was that, about 25 total carries for the year? He's got 2 rushing scores, 8 for the year.
And that's complete dejection for this Cloverdale sideline. When you run the rock, you impose your will. You see guys bear crawling, trying to get to Briar Cook, unable to do so, just like they're unable to stop the run tonight. South Putnam putting it on tough.
Not a position Cloverdale has been in this year. Down by this much. Their biggest loss was the 20-point defeat at Riverton Park. As adding his 4th PAT of the game is Beasley. 43-0 South Putnam. They continue the onslaught here in their final regular season game in preparation of the tournament. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd on ISC.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Cloverdale gets the ball back. It's 43-0 South Putnam with 3 and change to play in the 3rd quarter. We are in running clock territory. A reminder, this game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Brendan King with Jared Thomas with our great ISC crew. On hand from South Putnam. They got to be running out of fireworks by this point, huh?
They must have a bunch in the
I
queue.
would imagine so. They just keep coming. Here's a short kick into Cloverdale Arms down at the 45. That was Ensign that got to it. So Cloverdale with the ball trying to get on the board for the first time. And you talked about small victories, Jared. A small victory here would be getting points on the board if you're Cloverdale.
Something would be positive for Cloverdale. They just, when you're not connecting with the receivers down the field, when the run game doesn't match with explosive plays down the field and you don't take advantage early, it feels like you're getting further and further away from that center point where you're really established in your rhythm. So now you're just looking for anything, and sometimes when you're searching, you start to force the ball, and that pressure continues. Although we see one going down the field trying to find Trey Henderson, but once again unable to connect. Blanketed coverage down the field, and hopefully Trey Henderson.
The extra little jump up, and there's the thank you. Hopefully Trey Henderson's all right.
Talk about team spirit, folks. We're all Putnam County here.
Somebody's got to clip that and just use it to the end of history in good sportsmanship.
100%.
You know?
As the PA said, we're all Putnam County. So when
That's
you
true.
take these uniforms off, we all are in the same community, so have to look after one another.
Getting towards the 2-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Running clock. A couple touchdown scores for South Putnam here in this 2nd half. Here's a run. And really going nowhere on the carry for Taylor. And good to see Keyshawn Taylor healthy. He was shaken up at the back end of the 2nd quarter. And to leave the game. delay here as Duncan is slow getting the play to the rest of the offense. Are they just going to let this tick down? Or no, they'll take the timeout. Timeout Cloverdale. Wonder if they're just trying to buy enough time for Henderson to get back out there or what, but they were letting the play clock dip down, then they took the timeout.
Less game action means less time that South Putnam has to continue to run the score up. Sometimes you lick your wounds and play the game clock game, and that usually means allowing some seconds to go off the clock and think extra hard about what your next move is going to look like on offense in this 3rd and long situation.
After the timeout, clock was stopped at 1:06. Again, both of these teams in the same area of the Class A tournament bracket. Different sectionals, obviously. South Putnam, sectional 45. Cloverdale, sectional 46. So, again, this could be a regional matchup. South Putnam will play Attica in the first round. They would then play the winner of Park Heritage and Fountain Central. Covington and North Central Farmersburg, as well as Riverton Park and North Vermilion, could be their second round sectional game. Cloverdale will play Clinton Central in the first round. They'll get Indianapolis Tinley if they go on to win. Sheridan will take on Clinton Prairie, and again, both of these teams could meet in the regional. Downfield near side. Oh, what a grab by Shable. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not.
Duncan had Shable a lot sooner than the play ultimately resulted, but if Duncan could have gotten the ball to Shable a lot quicker, Shable might have been able to turn up the field and get into scoring territory. But once again, another play that doesn't go in the favor of the Clovers, and still the same tune thus far. A lot of good defense being played by South Putnam and very little to show for it offensively if you're Cloverdale.
Boy, you got to credit Duncan's arm. How many times has he been running for his life and has thrown a bullet?
Every time.
Every time. I'd love to see him with proper protection, right?
Absolutely.
About what he could do. Because that's a cannon.
On the move, too. It's hard to do when you're moving one way, trying to throw the ball back across your body with defenders barreling down your back. So I have to give Mr. Duncan some credit in the way he's been trying to find receivers down the field despite being under duress.
Third quarter clock will extinguish. Let's see here, and then we're going to go to the fourth quarter. Timeout, South Putnam with their fingerprints on a W. We're back next with the fourth on ISC.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Final quarter of action here from South Putnam. Cloverdale is going to punt. Jordan Horsley has been a busy man with his right foot today. This will bounce in front of Blake Witt again. He'll field the ground ball almost. Spinorama. And Blake Witt is out to the left side where he is twisted further to the turf and stopped by Thomas Hamilton.
Thomas Hamilton, 5'8", 185-pound offensive lineman and defensive lineman.
Isn't that amazing?
Because of the way he attacks the game physically, that's somebody that Tyler Lotz couldn't keep off of the offensive line. A lot of TFLs, leads the team. Through 7 games, he had 4. Once again, that's one of the guys that's on this team that is looked to for his leadership. Despite his stature physically, he brings a lot more to the game, as you saw with the special teams play like that.
There is no fear when you are that size and that is your job, right? I mean, that's amazing. Here's a handoff. New quarterback in for South Putnam, by the way. Dallas Mullins is going to be the new quarterback. Dallas Mullen, I beg your pardon. Dallas Mullen, a sophomore, good size, 6'1", 160 pounds. That is a frame that is growable.
I'm sure those that are watching remember the name Mullen and what Wyatt Mullen was able to do as a 4-year starter here at quarterback. Broke every rushing quarterback record and passing record. Obviously very tough to replace, but when little brother gets some clock in this last game of the season, sure has to be a welcome sight for the Mullen family.
Another carry. That's Cash Monick that checks into the game. So Chuck Sorrell deciding to get his backups in there with a comfortable lead and a running clock. Cash Monick, his first carry of the game. Monick, just a freshman. So you're getting a look right now, Jared, at the next generation of starters for South Putnam. Of course, we mentioned Drew Klein is just a junior. So Dallas Mullen would have to wait a little bit before he gets the starting ranks, but this is the next up and the next due in line for South Putnam. Flag is down on that latest run by Monick. Could have been a face mask. We had a good view at Monick's run there. It seemed like somebody grabbed the mask, and there you go.
Jordan Horsley.
First down, South Putnam. So, hey, you bring in the backups, and nothing changes.
But once again, it goes back to that game in the playoffs last year, the semi-state game that's been referenced a few times on the broadcast tonight. But it's not just the game, it's the lead up to the game in reps that you get in practice and playing longer than your opponents, playing longer than some of your regular season opponents, stealing reps, as I like to call it. And that's what we're seeing here. When you can get some real live game reps on a varsity field, it truly helps the confidence, the psyche of those guys that don't normally see any action to get some reps and potentially help the team later on down the line, because you just never know. Health is always going to be of premium for any team trying to ascend into the ranks of a state champion. So everyone has to be ready when their number is called.
Well, absolutely never know, and I'm sure you can talk for experience. You know, how banged up is the body by the time you get to Lucas Oil Stadium?
100%. But adrenaline kicks in, excitement kicks in. But the reality is you look forward to the playoff time because you know I can sacrifice a little bit more because I know what the reward could be at the end of it. So everyone is vying for the same opportunity to feel the soreness, but also to feel victorious at the end of it if it truly does pay off in your favor.
It has been the Cash Monick drive. Ball came loose, but he was already down. So he's up ahead to the 31. Cash, spelled with a K, by the way. Dallas Mullen, the backup quarterback, into the game for South Putnam. The reserves are in. Taking care of this drive with the clock consistently moving with the running clock rule. Under 8 left in regulation. Mullen, big, tall, slender, handoff to Monick. And Monick this time, Cloverdale greets him and says hello.
Wyatt Whitaker, freshman on defense, doing a lot of good things for the Clovers. Meets running back in the hole, gets his name called on the PA. A lot of good players on this Cloverdale team, not able to show all of that talent tonight with the way the score has gotten lopsided, but sure a welcome sight for some of those younger players for them as well. Once again, it's playoff time next week for them, so they want to turn on the tape and say, hey, these guys stood out. Let's build off of that effort.
And especially at this level, as the handoff is taken to the left, another new man on the carry. That's Tyler Koch, backup running back, 5'6", 165 pounds. Tyler Koch, a junior. But when you need reserves at this level, Jared, you know, you played at a higher level of football in Class A. When you need a backup, likely that guy's going to be an underclassman, if not a freshman. So you're going to need to find ways to install confidence before the lights turn on.
And it's all fun and games where you're thinking about worst case scenario and certain guys having to go in the game until it's time for that guy to go in the game. And you want there to be some level of testing, measuring pool for them to kind of play in a little bit just to get their confidence up. And their first varsity rep is not in a key moment during your season.
Koch remains at the back, takes the carry, and a helmet popped off. They're going to need that whistle. He's all right, but he'll have to head to the sideline. Boy, South Putnam, reserve after reserve. Andrew Benton, a backup running back freshman, will come in, 14 in blue. They grow on trees for Chuck Sorrell, apparently.
Benton is synonymous with touchdown.
What a night for Ty Benton. Rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, 2 touchdown runs from Pryor Cook. Drew Klein's got the passing TD and the rushing touchdown. Mullen, the quarterback. Freshman Andrew Benton, the running back. And here he is, Andrew Benton doing his best Ty impression right up the middle.
And you see the remnants of Big Brother with the jump cut as soon as he got the handoff, trying to make those defenders miss and do the best Ty Benton impersonation. And I would say on the first carry to get 4 or 5 yards, I'd say that was a success.
For a freshman, you kidding me? That's incredible. 4 and change left. South Putnam's going to finish the regular season at 7-2, 4-2 in conference. Cloverdale. We're looking for some answers heading into the tournament. Here's a snap left. Andrew Benton, first career touchdown. Flag is down, though, in the backfield.
How story-esque would that have been? Another jump cut to make a couple of defenders miss, beating them with speed to the outside. Almost getting in for the touchdown is Andrew Benton right there. There's the jump cut going laterally as defenders are in pursuit. There's another one, and then just beats them with speed to the perimeter, but not before that laundry touched the ground, and that one's coming back. But as I saw last night with Joe Flacco to Jamar Chase, you get the penalty or you don't get the touchdown because of a bobble all the way through the finish of the catch. What do you do the next play? Go right back to him. So I would love to see Andrew Benton get another opportunity to get that carry and maybe get into the end zone.
I don't mind you bringing that up other than the fact that I was playing against Jamar Chase last night.
That's unfortunate.
Fantasy-wise, which did not feel good.
I'm sure it didn't feel good for the Steelers either.
Yeah, true. Andrew Benton did get another carry, but he slipped and fell.
Rhetorical question for everyone. At what point were they going to double team or play zone coverage to Jamar Chase? Just wondering.
It's a great question. Well, you know, as soon as that happens, T. Higgins goes off.
I'd take T. Higgins tearing my defense up over Jamar Chase, especially with Jalen Ramsey. I think it's that time for him to move to that safety position, as so many greats have done throughout the years. They transition from the island into the middle of the field where you can prolong your career, and we don't just see you on highlight tapes.
For the bad reason.
Correct.
Here's Mullen bobbling, and it was nearly intercepted by Ashton Evans.
Tries to whip it out to the perimeter, doesn't like it, bobbles it, and then almost throws an interception. Little Mullen, whirlwind of emotions on that third down snap.
Under 2 minutes left here in regulation. And we're going to see a long field goal attempt. This is going to be the first field goal attempt of the season, Jared, for South Putnam. I guess you work on everything you can before the tournament starts, right?
And it just got even longer.
Yeah. Well, Aiden Beasley, who is 28 of 35 on the season on point-after attempts, is going to take his first field goal attempt of the season. The holder is Blake Witt. A 38-yard field goal. Here we go. And it's going to be well short. And retrieving is Cloverdale. They had a man ready, and that was Evans. Evans will take it to the near side where he is blistered out of bounds. Flags come in. Most importantly, everybody's all right. But boy, Ashton Evans was pummeled out to the near sideline. And some penalties to take care of here before we wrap things up. And actually, the clock's going to go. There was no injury.
Why is the clock stopped? Okay.
Referee's getting something discussed. Some kind of personal fouls in there, right?
It's a lot that happened on that last play.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But a lot happened on that last kicking attempt for South Putnam, too. A point of emphasis for the Eagles, a work in progress, as Coach Chuck Sorrell calls it. They don't have a soccer team, so there isn't any talent for them to pluck guys from to come be a kicker on their team. So I'm sure just trying to test the threshold to see how far, if they had to kick a field goal.
You get yourself ready for the tournament.
That's exactly right.
You know, why practice in the tournament when you can do it right now? So 43-0, it stays. Nothing Aiden Beasley can do. Hey, credit to Ashton Evans, who put in 110% effort returning that one. And he was absolutely rocked out of bounds. So Cloverdale football. Handoff, and that's going to do it. There was a new quarterback in, by the way, for Cloverdale there. That was Ethan Pettit, a freshman. And I wouldn't imagine they'll snap it here, right?
Can't see them snapping an extra one at this point in the game.
With 6 seconds, that's going to do it. A dominating effort in their final regular season game by South Putnam. Not sure if we had 43-0 on the bingo card, but it just goes to show South Putnam, the number 6 team in Class A, they are going to be a dangerous squad in the tournament coming up.
That's 100%. They have so many weapons to go to. They have receivers, they have running backs, they have a dual threat quarterback, they have a defense that flies around, held Cloverdale to 0 points. Very little momentum gained by Cloverdale tonight, and that's just a credit to this South Putnam. But I this about Cloverdale. Back-to-back seasons, 5 wins, the most since 1996. That's only been 3 teams that have done that 5-win feat to get the most wins in program history. And that was last year, and that was this year, and that was back in 07. So that is a team that has not seen a lot of success, so a lot of credit to them continuing to fight, stay in the fight. Better days ahead for them.
They last played for a sectional title in 1992. Could they be on to one here? We'll find out next week. Hey, a reminder, this game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide the ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Your final thoughts on this one, Mr. Thomas?
South Putnam fully expects to be playing for a state championship this year. They've showed exactly why all season. None of it matters if they don't keep up the same focus. So best of luck to them, to Coach Lotz and his Cloverdale team. Continue to fight, continue to play the next play that's right in front of you, and live with the results.
For Jared Thomas, I'm Brendan King. Thanks again to our sponsor, Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Find out more at weendeavor.com. Thanks to our fabulous ISC crew. South Putnam heading into the tournament with a shutout victory, 43-0 over Cloverdale. We'll talk to you with our next high school athletics production on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.